Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? You could buy stuff and it would make you happy for having gotten art. You could give it to a friend and it would make them happy, and then it would make me happy because I've sold an art. 3 people are happy because of that transaction. Good job, colinmullen.com. So anyway, let's talk about this piece real quick and how it relates to the channel. I spoke to an artist recently, a local artist here in Austin, who has been making it not through, teaching, not through working a side gig, which is fine if you do, but she's just totally doing art as her profession, which is awesome. I'm like, how are you doing this? What are you doing? And so one of the pieces of advice that she gave is that you need to have a series of 8 of something. And the reason behind that is 8 is usually enough to cover all the walls in a cafe or a gallery or what have you, and have some space in between for people to be doing stuff. So that's what I'm going to be working on for the next little bit. Pieces that connect up with the Hermes piece that I did a little while back, because I'm really proud of that piece, and I feel like there's a lot more I want to explore artistically and spiritually with that concept. And so the next few will be kind of expounding upon that in order to get me back up to that 8. Currently, with this piece, we'll have 5, so there will be a couple more after this. But anyway, so let's talk about spec work, speculative work. That's what that stands for. It comes in a bunch of different varieties. Usually it looks like this. Hey, we're a company, and we're looking for an artist. Submit your work, and you'll have a chance to win prize. The prize will be like a job offer or your art on a cereal box, what have you. This is always bad. Spec work is bad for you. It's bad for the industry. That's a hot take. People disagree with that. There are some people who adamantly defend spec work. For the life of me, I don't understand why. Usually the excuse is that it's a good way of building up your portfolio. That sometimes you can't get your portfolio built up in any other way. I don't really see how that could be a thing in this day and age. Like, I understand with photographers that it might be hard, but like literally, if you want to be a wedding photographer, when your friend gets married, ask if you can take pictures at their wedding. You know? Not as their wedding photographer, but just as someone else with a camera. You can even say, I'll do it for free. I need to get experience. Do you mind if I take pictures at your wedding? Very few friends are going to be like, no, don't do that. I don't want more pictures of my special day. Like, what? No. I refuse to believe that you have to do spec work. And I have adamantly avoided spec work my entire life. I've done free work before. Something along the lines of spec work. And every single time it has ended up with me getting ripped off. I always ask for payment up front now. And if you're not willing to pay me up front, you're not really actually invested in the work you're doing. You don't actually believe in the product, the thing you're trying to do. And the few times that I've worked for free and it did work out for me, it was because I was working for free. Because I knew I was working for free. And that helps. As much as I dislike doing free work, at least in a case where it was free work that you were told up front, you will not be paid. There's something to be said about that. And I hate free work, but like, at least you know how much work you're going to be putting in. Like with spec work, you're like, I need this job. I want this opportunity. And so you're going to work way harder than you should in order to get that job, and you're not going to get it. That's the absolute worst of it, is you're not going to get the job, and that means you're going to have put in the work that it would take to get paid without getting paid. With free work, you know you're not getting paid. But let's set down some ground rules, some things that you should do. If you're not going to do spec work, which you shouldn't do spec work, have a portfolio. You need a portfolio regardless. Because people will want to see the kind of work that you can do. And they're going to use spec work as a way of justifying that. They're going to say, oh, we want to see what kind of work you can do. You seem like a cool kid, but we don't know what you can do for us. Have a portfolio that is in line with the kind of work that you want to do. If you want to do paintings for a living, you need to have a portfolio that shows paintings. I could not show the portfolio that I have, the kind of stuff that I've done on this channel, to someone and go, I do wedding photography. And be like, dude, what? Like, that would be a reasonable case for them to go, I mean, like, your art seems cool, but, like, can you do wedding photography? Like, you know, it's going to be hard for me to argue that point. So have your art represent the kind of work that you want to do for a living, or the kind of work that you want to do, so that way you can get jobs doing that kind of art. You also should be confident in the work that you do. I know a lot of people, especially when they're new, they're not confident in it. But, like, imagine if Coca-Cola came out with an ad and they were like, oh, it's all right. We're trying really hard. And we'd really appreciate it if you gave us a shot. It's basically candy. It has caffeine in it. I don't know. Pay us whatever you think it's worth? Like, no. Like, no. Maybe in an ironic, like, millennial sense, people would buy that, but, like, by and large part, like, people are gonna be like, dude, what? So be confident in your work. If someone goes, can you do this? And it's in the style that you want to do, in the kind of job field that you want to do, say yes. Because you're going to work at it to try and get that job. If you're in a world where spec work exists, where you are willing to put yourself in competition with other artists, in what world are you also in where you can't just be confident enough in your skill to just go, yes? Because I know if you really are wanting to be here and do this, that you are willing to work hard to get your work out there. So just say yes. Unless if it's totally outside of your wheel well. Like, I would not say yes to doing wedding photography. That's just not something I'm good at. And I don't know why I'm, like, so hung up on wedding photography for examples. I would not say that I could do watercolor for someone, because that's just not something I do. So have a portfolio. Be confident in what you're doing. If someone needs you to do free work for them, and they're a friend or whatever, at least trade. Like, I don't do free work for my friends. I just don't. Because my friends know that I'm trying to make a living off this, and it's disrespectful to ask that of me. If you ask, you know, oh, we're friends though, right? I'll go, cool, yeah, I'll give you the friend discount, which is like 40 to 50% more, because you understand that I'm in a rough spot right now, and I could really use the money in order to start my career. And that usually gets them to stop. I've had jobs, I've had opportunities, I should say, where people have gone, you know, I don't have the money yet, but when this thing sells, like, I will be making money and you will make $10. It's like, look, if you're confident enough to think that your work is going to be good, just pay me up front. Get a loan, like any other business would, and pay me. I've regretted it every single time that I've taken a job where I didn't get paid up front. And spec work is definitely worse than that. Just don't do it. Have confidence in yourself. Trade, in the very least, for your work. So if someone goes, I can't pay, I'm sorry, go, cool, you want me to do like a mural for your cafe? That's totally fine. You can't pay. And I'm willing to do this for you for some reason. Oh, okay. How about this? Just give me sandwiches for while I'm working on it, you know? And if they're not willing to go to that extent for you, they just aren't willing to pay, because that's really what it is. It's someone who is not confident in, they're unwilling or unable to pay you, and they will never be willing to pay you, because as soon as they do have money, like, when you see these big companies do calls for art, it's an opportunity to get social media exposure that they're gonna get from people entering the contest and asking, like, hey guys, tweet my art, I entered it for this contest, make sure that I win, yay guys. It's money that they save not spending on an artist. They don't hire randos off the street. They hire, like, professionals. They hire people who, like, you know, like the Coca-Cola logo and all that is not just done by some rando. Like, they get the advertising campaigns they get for them done by someone already established. They're not going to get someone they got for spec work in the past. They just aren't. So just be confident in your work. Have a portfolio. Don't do work for free. Don't do spec work. Sorry. This is an important one for me. So let's thank the people on Patreon who have thus far helped with this channel growing and have gotten this channel up to speed. And just as an aside, we have gotten this channel monetized now, which means it will show up in your sub box more often, just because YouTube is like, hey, that makes us money. And so the server cost of having it work is good, and we can actually show it to people. So it's great. But anyway, thank you to Wapfu. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you to my beautiful wife, Tilda. Thank you, Theodore Corbier. Thank you, Spencer Kane. Thank you, Plex. Thank you, Flanexia Theoran. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Maliciousness. Thank you, James at Games. Thank you, Geizazan. Thank you, Duxu. Thank you, Bubba Fair. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Amber. And thank you, Adam Kearney. I'm pretty confident in my pronunciation of that now, despite the fact that I haven't changed how I pronounce it. Anyway, thank you guys. If you want to be in those numbers, if you want to also have your name said in these credits, link down in the description of the Patreon, $5 or more. Bunch of other rewards, bunch of other stuff going on there. Anyway, this is me signing the painting, signing off. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for enjoying. If you enjoyed this, you know, subscribe helps me out, blah, 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 all the things I'm supposed to say, like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Just, if this channel is helpful to you, watch it. Otherwise, you have a good day, and I'll call it there. Thank you guys so much. Goodbye.